Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. One of the best chart analysts in the entire crypto space, in my humble opinion, is predicting massive gains for XRP. And so as to not tease all of you listening too much in the intro here, I'll let you know that I'm referencing none other than Credible Crypto. There's a reason he's got over 400,000 followers on social media platform X. And, he is forecasting double-digit price action for XRP. So that would mean bare minimum $10. Now, he's more precise than that, and we'll get to it because he had a lot to say, actually. And he's also talking about what we might reasonably expect for XRP in the short term. But he said, and this is a quote as it pertains to XRP, "Not a matter of if, but when," end quote. Now, on that point, I certainly agree. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 6:47 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone, on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. Kind of a heck of a day. I know at this moment, price isn't going bananas, but we did have yet another all-time high for Bitcoin, which leads the market. Now, according to Live Coin Watch, it got up to $93,960, but understand that this is an aggregation of prices. They're pulling data, and they're doing it in some sort of proprietary way that I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're pulling data from a bunch of different exchanges, so on and so forth. And so it comes to more or less average out to that. But there are some platforms where Bitcoin legitimately hit over $94,000, even if just for a brief moment. You'd love to see it. And at some point, it seems like a virtual certainty now, Bitcoin's going to break above over $100,000, further enter price discovery. And you can just imagine what that will mean for how much money is going to flow into XRP and everything else. That's why you should be excited for a higher Bitcoin price, even if you don't hold it. And meanwhile, you have XRP, which is really holding its own. Impressive to this point. It's at $1.11. But remember how, just like a couple of weeks ago, it was 49 cents? You know what? I will take this. I will definitely take this. So here's what on-chain analytics firm Santiment had to say about this. Bitcoin's new all-time high now sits at $94,002. And the commentary across social media could be described as lukewarm at best. The lack of euphoria is an encouraging sign, as FOMO typically leads to corrections. As long as there is retail trader disbelief, whales can continue pumping cryptocurrencies with little resistance. And so I'm always curious to see what Santiment has to say about how the people on social media are responding, because the way that they track this, and again, it's their own proprietary thing, so I don't know exactly what they're doing to come up with the chart that's on your screen in terms of how they're pulling data specifically. And sometimes it's a bit different than what we see, for instance, on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. So this is at 83 out of 100, and they actually do share on this website. It's not worth pulling up for the purposes of this video, but they cite, not with a great deal of specificity, but the types of information that they're pulling, so it's undoubtedly different than what Santiment's doing. So you do technically, if you ever wondered why, like, what do you mean? It says extreme greed here, but then Santiment says, what? There's no euphoria? What are you talking about? Well, that's why. It's because they're independent entities, and they're pulling data in different ways. They created their markers on their own, so yes, of course they're different. So here, yes, Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 83 out of 100, indicating that the market is in extreme greed. Here's a post from chart analyst Tony Severino, Bitcoin chart, and he said, Bitcoin makes yet another all-time high. Price discovery will continue with plenty of fast and short corrections along the way up. Certainly wouldn't mind seeing that. There's also this post from chart analyst Dom. Now, this one's interesting. So this is the others chart. The others chart is the top 10, it's all the cryptos, rather, in the entire asset class, excluding the top 10 coins by market cap. So XRP is not in here. But to me, that doesn't frankly matter for a couple of reasons. First of all, I hold 42 different cryptocurrencies. Most of them are not in the top 10. You don't have to be a math wizard to figure that one out. And then on top of that, it's all about money cycling through the space. So if we're at a point where it makes sense to believe, hey, if history's to kind of rhyme with itself, the others chart, these coins here, they're going to take off. Well, it's not crazy to think that XRP also would. It's just another way of tracking data. But so anyway, this is the others chart. And Dom said, others dominance, altcoins excluding top 10, each time others dominance, so when he says that others.d, that just means others dominance, that just means what percentage of the market is all the coins that are included in the others category. And at this point, you can see, even though it's almost all of the coins, it's only, at the time he posted this, 9.57%. And that's because Bitcoin's so dominant, and so is ETH. So he says, each time others' dominance has hit this 5-year trend line, right now, as indicated on your screen, it triggered an alt season. And check this out. This is why I'm sharing this with you. We just hit it for the first time in over a year. Let's see if this pattern repeats. So take it for what it's worth, but look at the trend line that he's drawn here, and it is true. Each time that this is hit, it's resulted in a bounce. And it would line up with our expectations based on historically how have markets behaved. This would line up with that as well, even outside of chart analysis. That is intriguing to me. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. He's talking about Bitcoin and XRP here and altcoins. He wrote, Bitcoin is at all-time highs. It is in price discovery and 23% above its 2021 cycle high. The asset is consolidating sideways while gaining price acceptance at these new and higher valuations. A Bitcoin dominance remains incredibly high at 60%. Last week, the total indices printed their largest weekly candlesticks of this market cycle and are threatening expansion. Many altcoins have completed their Wave 2 corrections and successfully backtested their bear market lows or previous macro range highs as support. XRP has woken up right on time post the Bitcoin halving, as the higher time frame oscillators and indicators have suggested years in advance. Picture, if you will, all three total indices in price discovery as Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance, that's USDT, are in steep decline. And folks, there's a number of reasons this matters. So first of all, as it pertains to XRP, for those of you that were around back in 2020, you may recall that this was the same time of year, roughly, that XRP woke up and started running. Now, it ran more intensely this time, which is what you'd hope to see with legal clarity, so on and so forth, by a good bit. I mean, XRP may have run up to 80 cents, but then that was the local peak in November of 2020. Then it went back down. I can't remember. I'd have to pull up a chart. It doesn't matter. But the point is, it went back down to some degree. Here, it got up to $1.26, and that's just a start, though. And so it's just really exciting to see the cyclical nature, like what we should expect based on historic precedent. It's happening again. And of course, as it pertains to Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance, as those start to decrease, that's because those funds are going into other coins, including XRP. And so he wrapped up his post by saying, bulls are not bullish enough, and bears are completely sidelined and offside. Skepticism remains rampant. It is a beautiful setup. I would agree with that. Now, here's what chart analyst Credible Crypto had to say about XRP specifically. This is what I was talking about at the outset of the video. Shared this with his 434,700 followers on X. Now, this chart is not a Bitcoin or rather an XRP USD chart. It is an XRP BTC chart. So XRP priced against Bitcoin. And here's what he had to say, and you're going to like this. Spoiler alert, you're going to like this if you're an XRP holder. Many asking for an update on XRP, and frankly, the USD chart is not as clear to me as I'd like it to be, so going to use the Bitcoin chart as a gauge here. Now, let's pause and note, when I first read that, I was thinking, that's kind of in line with what Crypto Insight UK was talking about, another analyst. He's like, really, the one that you should be paying attention to is not XRP priced against the dollar, but XRP priced against Bitcoin, because that thing still actually kind of needs to break out. Now, we do have currently, and it is true, thankfully, the cycle low was for XRP against Bitcoin. It was on June 7th. Very happy to see that. But we don't know for sure what's going to happen. I mean, yes, if you're looking on the screen right here, you can see this beautiful candle because XRP has been performing recently after the election. Okay, cool, happy to see that. But has it actually full-on broken out? I don't think most analysts would say that. But the best is yet to come, so that's right. So anyway, here's the rest of what he says. The red zone, you'll have to look at the screen if you want to see what he's talking about. The red zone is major resistance. Odds are we find some resistance there on this push. That being said, it's a massive region/zone, so XRP could push significantly higher on the USD pairing before we start taking a breather. And so he's talking about as he notes here, maybe $1.50 to $2 for XRP. He says, I don't know if the bottom isn't on the XRP BTC or if we will go for the lows. That's a variable that remains for now that I'll keep a note of. Flipping the dotted red line above the red zone and establishing it as support is what we want to see start going for a new all-time high. That's the most important level on this entire chart. If/when we flip that into support rather, double digits probs come quickly. So there you go. Double digits, that would be a minimum of $10, of course. Now, you can think about what happened with XRP. It broke out of that symmetrical triangle that I've been showing on my channel so many times. Some analysts drew it back to the last cycle, which is fine, 2021. Some drew it back all the way to the all-time high, which is, of course, is fine too, early 2018. Now with XRP, price against the dollar, you could see what happened. When it broke out of that, it was with force. So now we're talking about, okay, what about XRP price against Bitcoin? When it breaks out of that, probably, or at least potentially, another situation where it's going to break out with tremendous force. That's why they're multiple analysts are particularly curious about what is going to happen, frankly, in the not too distant future. Like, I don't think we're going to have to wait long to figure this out. Because we are in a bull run, folks. Like, we are in the bull run. It couldn't be more obvious here. And then he says, new all-time high against Bitcoin is not a matter of if, but when. And at current Bitcoin prices, a new all-time high on XRP BTC would put us over $20 easily. You guys, I know it sounds like hard to believe when, it's about $1 now, but, if I told you that, when XRP a couple weeks ago was 49 cents, that it would, definitely be over 100% up in just, a little over a week. It might have seemed like impossible then too, but that's just more about human sentiment and psychology. In terms of how crypto behaves, like, is it plausible that XRP could reach a level like that? $20 per XRP? Yes, it is. I don't know if it's going to. Is it plausible? Yes, look at the history of crypto. We got 15 years of freaking data, son. you best believe it's possible. That's for damn sure. He then says, that being said, you'll need to be patient. Need to clear the red zone and flip the level above before we can start considering that, and that may take some time. So for now, we'll continue to hold my spot while looking for potential trade entries on dips across the board. Yeah, and fair enough. And so he says may have to wait a while. That's obviously subjective. It's not like we have to wait years here. We're in a bull run. So it could be tomorrow, it could be a week from now, it could be a month from now, it could be the early part of 2025, first half of 2025. In fact, I may talk more about like when a new all-time high is going to get hit in my next video, because it's an interesting topic. Like these are the things that people are curious about, and for good reason. Like I am too. And we can only draw upon a number of things as it pertains to this. Yes, certainly chart analysis, but also historic precedent. Both of these things clearly matter. So I have some thoughts on that. I don't want to. It's not the focus of this video. But yeah, I mean, I'm just as curious as the next person here. But yeah, it's basically that, and then okay, how high do we go? And as far as that, I don't. It's not my shtick to do price predictions. I never have. I never will. But I certainly find it plausible that we could easily hit double digits and maybe even upwards of $20. It's possible. It really depends on how high Bitcoin goes, frankly. So we'll see here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here for now, but I'll check back in a little bit. There's too much to keep up with. There's all sorts of things and like from a news perspective, there's so much stuff out there, and then there's also so many new perspectives that are interesting from chart analysts in the crypto community and XRP community that I want to share with you. And it's hard to figure out because I can't cover everything. It's like, what do I put into what video? How do I get the most interesting and important information out to everybody? And so I just have to make subjective calls, but that's why I try and do blends where like some videos are more news heavy and some are more focused on price. But I think it makes sense to have a good amount of videos that do focus on price when we're in a freaking bull run, and XRP has been like it went on a recent rampage. It absolutely broke out. Because I get it. Like I'm interested in the same things as you guys. So anyway, all I'm saying is not to bitch up a storm or anything. Like it's a fun problem to have, I suppose, but it's just too much to possibly cover. Even with an XRP centric channel, there's just too much happening. There's way too much to discuss it all. But exciting times yet ahead. That's for damn sure. But like I said, I'll wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.